Hey boys and girls, week 7, day 5. We're only going to do 2 word problems today. That just made your day 5. I know you're super happy because I'm super happy with the amount of hard work that we've been doing on our word problems. Next week we're going to move on, so we're not going to do word problems the rest of the year. Just kidding. We're going to have lots and lots and lots and lots of word problems still to do. And we'll be refining them, we'll be mastering them on our BellWorks and our tests. And our quizzes, and of course we've got to learn more multiplication and division, so you know there's going to be word problems for those ones coming as well. So I have just a little different today, boys and girls. I want you, just for these two, you're going to watch, figure out how these would go by yourself. You're going to do the work, then I'm going to show you. So even though there's 2 videos, I do want you guys to be a little bit more independent, and I'll put up the answers up on my wall here for today. I'm making my video at home instead of at school. So let's look at our questions. We are going to do 28 and 29, and then you guys independently are going to do 30 and 31, and 32 is a little bit of fun. Make your own word problem. Now don't make it ridiculously hard, but try to model it after all these ones that we have currently been doing. You can make your friend in it, you can put you in it. Think of what you're doing. You have basic, you have comparing, and you have your missing link. And you can do, remember, a combination of both, which is what we've been doing this week. So you'll see when I do these here today, boys and girls, that they're going to be a combination of both. You're going to see how we have basic, how we have comparing, and how we also see a missing link. So I'm going to use all 3 of those tapes today, making all these into 2-step word problems. So let's look at our first question. It says, in our classroom, we have a total of $15,550. You have $400 more than Mr. Van Damme. Your friend has a total of $1,600, and Mr. Van Damme has $500. How much does the rest of the class have? So before we go ahead and we try to figure out how much the rest of the class has, figure out how much the class has total, how much your friend has, let's just figure out what we can do. So a lot of times, boys and girls, we just need to chunk this. And I'm going to chunk this word problem. I'm going to put up my first tape, and you guys are going to draw in this first tape. Let's figure out how much Mr. Van Damme has, or excuse me, how much you have. I have $500. You have $400 more than me. That's our first step. All right, we'll put that up there. I know it's a little harder to see, but you can at least see our steps go through. Go ahead and pause me and solve that. That could be almost mental math. Shouldn't take you too long. You probably don't have to pause me at this point. So how much do you have? You have $900. Right? Simple. Now if that was on a quiz question, you will probably thank me and say, oh, Mr. Van Damme, you're the greatest teacher ever. Thank you so much. Yay! Not that easy. Now we're going to take that answer and we're going to transfer it over. Let me grab my highlighter. Into our next tape. Now our next tape, hope you see, is going to be our missing link. So now we have our total, which is $15,550. We have how much your friend has, $1,600. Mr. Van Damme's got a measly $500, and you've got $900. Okay? So there's 3 parts of the puzzle that we know. And look how tiny I'm making these. Why? Because the whole class has 15,000. This is only 3 out of, there's 16 of us, 17 of us in the classroom. So there's a lot more kids that got a lot more money than, just me, your friend, and you. Okay? Your friend, you, and me. So, set up our tape diagram. This is a missing link. Now, good news. I'll highlight this in yellow. You have already solved for this little piece. This tape diagram behind me, see that good looking thing right there? We already solved for that. Okay? So we already solved for that, so we know that you have 900, Mr. V has 500, and we know that your friend has 1,600. Okay? So that means we're going to add all those together, and that will equal how much the 3 of us have. Okay, so I'm going to put my tape back over there. This is the second part of this. Trying to do this here. All right, so let's go ahead, add those up together. Pause me when you have it. Good, hopefully you have it. Hopefully you chunked them too, because those are some fairly big numbers. The zeros were nice to work with though, weren't they? I have, whoops, let me show you that first. The three of us have $3,000. So this is your friend, this is me, this is you. Friend has a lot more. And then add them together, giving me 3,000. Okay, so what does that mean? That means all of this right here in yellow is 3,000. And that, boys and girls, looks right now like a basic. Now we're down to our last steps. This is why I like type diagrams. We have a comparing, boop, boop, boop. You and I compared each other. I then transferred that 900 down into where you were. I then added all those up, got 3,000, and now this looks just like our basic tape diagram. So we're gonna finish it off by taking away from our total, which is $15,550. And we're gonna take away 3 grand from it. You can almost do that with mental math because there's a lot of zeros. Giving our final answer, the rest of the class has $12,550. Okay, so see what you did, see what you have right. Again, this is 1, then we had 2, then we had 3. So this is 3 steps, and we use 2 tapes. We use 2 tapes for those, okay? All right, next one's just a little easier. Let me take all these down. Oops. All that hard work. Now I'm just gonna throw these in the garbage. Our last question that we're going to do today says, an apple wagon weighed 2,500 pounds. After the first load was taken off of the wagon, it then weighed 2,230 pounds. Then 560 more pounds were taken off. What was the total number of pounds of apples removed from the wagon? So let's again do it step by step, just like we did in that last one. I took the 2 things that I can compare. I took you and me, we compared each other, and I figured out you got 900. So let's do the same thing here. Let's pretend this is a one-step word problem. There's the wagon, 2,500. There's how much the wagon then weighed. So I have to find out my first part, which is how much our wagon, how much the first load was. And that's why I put first load over here. I probably should have just labeled that wagon part 2. That's the wagon up top. So go ahead and do the math for that. Again, that's a basic tape diagram. That's a comparing tape diagram because we're going to figure out this right here. All right. You figured that out. Pause me. Shouldn't have taken you too long. So I have A is 270 pounds. 270 pounds was removed. So 270 pounds of apples. So now I'm going to construct one more last tape diagram. This is the easiest one. I need my total. Notice I have an A and a B because this is going to be my A. This is going to be something I'm going to fill over because we had to do one step here, and then we had to go into another tape diagram here. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that so you guys can see that. This guy right here, we figured out, and it goes right there. So when you guys are doing this on your paper, you figure out A, and then A then fills in down here. So then I have 270 and 560, and boys and girls, that's the first week of tape diagrams. Go ahead and solve that. All right, hopefully you have your answer. Look at this, under 10-minute video. Maybe I should just talk for another 8 minutes and have you guys hold on. No, I'm gonna keep it under 10 minutes for you guys because I'm so super proud of our word problems. Our grand total and the last word problem that you have to do. You have to make, do with me, sorry. You have to do 2 more. The last problem of the week that we're doing together is 830 pounds of apples were removed. And that was pretty simple. You take 560, you add your 270, and boom, smack it on there. There's our answer, okay? So make those tape diagrams. Try to make them 2 to 3 steps. We don't need like 8-step tape diagrams. We're not that complex in 4th grade, and you'll never even find that in 5th when you get up. So try to keep them at least 2, 3. Don't try to keep them that simple. Like, I have $10. My sister has 4. How much do we have together? That's too easy. Try to make it a little harder on your classmates, because what I'll do, I'll pick some of those, and then if we have time, we'll do a couple independently, and we'll see what we have. Keeping the video under 10 minutes. I've got 20 seconds. But bye, guys. I will see you later in class. Good work this week.